It
one.
is easier to hold this steady with this.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's bring it up here. Okay, so the last part that we're going to do with this before we kind of get to the doorman's fence is just, we're going to talk a little bit about what are some physical like giveaways or some physical tells that somebody might do when they're about to strike me. So I have Aaron in front of me. I'm going to tell you, don't get all freaking Muay Thai on me and come over in your Muay Thai stance, all right? So what we were kind of talking about is like I said, I love combat sports and I think they're fantastic for everything self-defense related, but we do have to sift through some of the nuggets to take what we can use. What we were kind of like discussing is it's like, it's difficult for guys, because you practice all your blocks, you tend to be in some form of your guard here. I tend to fight southpaw, so tend to be here and here. So like I kind of know where I'm going with my blocks off of that, but we're asking you to just be, kind of like regular conversational stance, but with your hands up and then go into some form of default cover. So that changes, some of the stuff, but it changes what strikes look like, right? Because if Aaron and I are just like, we're kind of like sparring or whatever, he's got his stance, right? So I'm kind of like, I'm kind of feinting, moving, or whatever. It's like there's relative distance and it's a mutually agreed upon combat, right? Whether it's training or a fight or a match or whatever. But now, if a guy's trying to attack me, whether, he wants to rob me or he feels some sort of slight or whatever it is, do you think he's going to approach me in his boxing stance? No, right? So one, that's why we're trying to control all these things at all those verbal levels, right? Is one, keep him away if I can keep him away, if it is someone with actual like bad intentions. But also I'm trying to suss out, I'm trying to figure out his intentions, right? So if I'm like, hey, could you hold up right there, bud? Stop. And the guy is still like marching me down. In my head, I'm like, okay, obviously this guy is like, he's clearly dealing with me, right? This isn't just some guy roaming around. So I've kind of sussed out some, potential, motivations. But also, where do you think his attacks are probably likely to come from? Different hand placements, right? So one, that's why we go to the default cover, because I don't know what he's throwing and where it's coming from. But what are ways that someone who wants to attack me suddenly, what are things he's going to do to try to make that work?
Weight shift.
Weight stance, soft clenched fist.
I mean, so that's, yeah. So that like, first though, not specifically conceptually. If a guy wants to walk up and he wants to surprise you, he wants to sucker punch you, what's he going to do? What are some things?
Hey, how's it going?
Distraction.
Yeah, verbal deception, distraction, right? Visual, right? What are some visual things a guy might do?
Look away.
Hey, look at my phone over here.
Yeah. I don't have my phone on me. I have here. This is inert pepper spray, right? But I'd be like, hey, bro, is this the address like that we're at right now, right? Things like that. Get you to look at that. Particularly, anyone who tries to get you like looking down, right? So if you guys have ever worked, LE stuff or things like that, right? And I go, hey, pretend this is your ID, right? And I'm like, hey, can I see your ID, bud?
It's right here.
And I'll be like, oh yeah, cool, thank you, right? He's gonna try to draw my eyes away. So I'm gonna be like, hey, can I see your ID, bro? Thanks, man. Right? So bring it up into my eye line so I can still see what's going on. So just kind of like basic things. So he's going to use visual and verbal distraction, right? Which is why I'm trying to suss out what he's doing verbally at distance, right? Now, to the physical component, when he actually makes a move to strike me, what are some things that are typically going to happen?
Weight shift.
What?
Weight shift.
Weight shift, right? So Aaron's standing like that. Go ahead and hit me one in the hand here, right? So weight shift, pretty subtle, right? What if he wants to hit me hard? What's he probably going to do?
Widen up.
Shifts his feet a little bit, right? See that sort of stuff? Watch his arm, watch his shoulder, right? Do one without shifting your feet. Like do kind of a quick one, right? But you saw it's like instinctually like he brought himself up. So now that's quick, right? Like who thinks that when you leave here and it's 9 o'clock at night and you're at the gas station and it's a little dark that you're going to pick up on all those, right? It's kind of some stuff, right? So that's things to keep in mind with that. So we're gonna go back to our partners. We're gonna do about like 3 more minutes on this. So now I just want you guys like having a little bit of a conversation. I want you to have your fence up. This is where I want you to kind of work in, like we talked about, like circling the guy this or that. And he's going to attack you at his whim, right? With either hand, all right? So I want each partnership, each group to have 2 hand shields, 1 on each hand, all right? Now I still want relative, impact, right? So the idea is like I can move quick, but I don't have to hit him hard, right? Like quick, but not hard. So he still feels the impact. He's got to deal with it from a balance management kind of standpoint, but I'm not going to frickin' concuss him. Does that make sense? Anybody's super wonky on that. So switch up groups. Remember, each partnership needs a set of hand shields. Doesn't matter if they're matching, and we're going to rock and roll this for about 3 minutes. How we doing? Yeah? You guys both have a big smirk on your face, so.
It's just kind of like, it's like a little, I don't know.
It's weird, right?
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Like I said,
I'm not used to saying that. I mean,
fighting, I'm not saying it's easy, but like if you and I are just fighting, that's simple. It's like, oh, hey, we're fighting.
Yeah,
cool.
agreed.
Or if you're over at the door, bro, stay away. That's really simple. But this shit is weird.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like that's why we're doing it, because it is a difficult, because one, you're trying to not only like just manage the guy just spatially, you're trying to figure out what he's doing. Why is he talking to you? Does he have friends? What's going on? Hey, I'm just trying to pump gas. Like, can I really just run away? Well, okay, now what about my vehicle? Or I got my kids in the truck.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that makes this part of it really weird. Let's see it, guys. Fence, 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 yeah. All right, guys, finish your rep and bring it up here.
You're circling the whole time, but that's not going to happen, probably.
Probably not, no. But I mean, like I said, it's like, so if I'm dealing with him or whatever, it's like I might, I can move a little bit. Yeah, hey, bro, like, yeah, I think what you're looking for, like the Walmart we talked about is down there. You said you're looking for Walmart, right? Yeah, so like Walmart's there. Like I can, adjust myself. I can move myself, circling him a little bit.
Once you start circling me the whole time, I'm already
No, and it's,
I'm getting defensive
Yeah.
because why is the guy circling me?
no, and again, like I'm not trying to like, this is one of the difficult things about training is that like both guys think or know that they're going to do something fight-like, so they both treat it like fighting. Whereas like all of my street interactions in Western Iowa, but like let's say so I'm dealing with John. John's the good guy here. I'm the bad guy, right? So I'm like, hey, bro, like like I noticed like I have my phone here, like so it says I'm at like this address, but is that like the right address? Dude, hey, you're acting fucking, buddy. Like listen. I'm not trying to put you in a weird spot. Like, could you just? Is this like where I actually like? You see how it says this address here? Is that where like, right? Like that's more like, but to try to get him out of like, because both of you guys are like, kind of like sharks and jets. You're like, hey, buddy, I'm looking for the store. So it's like that's a hard part about training is getting guys to try to step outside of the training part of it and try to act a little bit more socially natural. Yeah. All right, bring it up.